Hi boys and girls, I'm the reading teacher. I love reading about new places that I'd like to visit. And the book we're going to read today is a nonfiction text about the country of Italy. I have a friend, Alexandra, who writes curriculum, and the curriculum she writes is adventures going to different countries. And you don't really go to the country, but you learn all the different things about these countries, what they eat and what music they listen to. And this book is part of the Build Your Masterpiece class, Adventures in Italy. This is through masterpiecestudio.com, and you can begin a journey while learning about Europe in a hands-on way through books, art, and cookery. Try the free lesson today. Use the link below. But first, why don't we read the story, Living in Italy. This story is written by Chloe Perkins, and it's illustrated by Tom Woolley. Now, Italy is a country that's in the continent of Europe. So I live in the continent of North America. I live in the United States. In fact, I live right below this lake right here called Lake Michigan. And if I were to get to Italy, I would take a boat or a plane across the ocean, and I would go to the continent of Europe, and Italy is this country right here. It looks almost like a high-heeled boot, doesn't it? And so that is where Italy is located, across the Atlantic Ocean from where I live. Let's find out some more information on the country of Italy. I'd like you to think about how would your life be the same and different if you lived in Italy. So what kinds of things that you're learning about Italy can you connect with that would be the same as where you lived? The girl in the book lives with her mom and her dad and her brother in a yellow house, and they have a dog. Maybe you live with your mom and your dad and your brother and a dog in a yellow house. So that would be the same. But something that might be different is the music that you listen to or what you do for fun. So let's find out all about Italy. Here we go. Ciao! That means hi in Italian. And look, they have the word ciao written, but because our language wouldn't pronounce it the same, in parentheses, they write how you'd pronounce it. So this is how you say ciao or hi in Italian. My name is Pia, and I live in Italy. Italy is a country in Europe where about 60 million people live, including me. This must be the Italian flag. And do you know what this is? This is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. Italy is famous for its shape. Doesn't it look like a boot? The boot is kicking Italy's two islands, Sicily and Sardinia. Sicily is home to 5 million people. It's the biggest island in the Mediterranean Sea. Sardinia is smaller. It has pretty beaches and mountains. I love going on vacation there with my family. Italy is split into 20 regions. Each region has its own government and traditions. For example, in Tuscany, people eat very simple food. But nearby, in Emilia-Romagna, people eat food with lots of spices and flavors. People in different regions might celebrate different festivals, or wear different clothes, or listen to different kinds of music. And while some regions are small, many regions have big cities. So I bet you can connect a lot to this too, can't you? Where we live, people can eat different things depending on where they live. For example, I was in New Orleans last year and I ate Cajun food that was a lot spicier than what I normally eat where I live in Chicago. And we might listen to different kinds of music in Chicago or have different kinds of festivals in Chicago to celebrate our population. Venice is a city that was built on the water. People travel in boats instead of cars. Pizza was made in the city of Naples. This pizza is called Neapolitan pizza and can only be made using special ingredients. Milan is Italy's fashion capital. 4 times a year, Milan has a fashion week for designers to show off new clothes. Florence is the city of art. Many beautiful buildings, sculptures, and paintings can be found there. And just like in our cities, it's different, isn't it? My city has different art museums than San Antonio, Texas, for example. I live in a city called Foligno in the Umbria region. Foligno is about 100 miles north of Rome, the capital of Italy. I live with my mom, dad, grandma, and big brother in a yellow house. We have a black dog named Luna. My mom is a professor at a university, and my dad works for a museum. My brother is in high school. He loves playing soccer. My grandma lives with us too. In Italy, many grandparents live with their families. And that's a good thing too, because each morning my grandma makes us a delicious breakfast. In Italy, we eat sweet things for breakfast, like cookies, breads, and cakes. So are you thinking about how your life would be different if you lived in Italy? If you lived in Italy, maybe you'd get to have cookies for breakfast. After breakfast, my dad drives me to school. There are 15 kids in my class. My teacher checks attendance, and then we start our first subject, history. Italy has a long history. So far, I've learned about the ancient people who lived here before Italy was even a country. People like the Etruscans, who built cities around 700 BCE. The Etruscans were great sailors, craftspeople, and warriors. But history gets really interesting in 509 BCE. That's when people in the city of Rome overthrew their king and later defeated the Etruscans. This led to a new era, the Roman Empire. Rome built up its army and defeated many nations. At its height, the Roman Empire was so big, it stretched from England to Africa. Rome was defeated by barbarians in 476 CE. After Rome fell, the land was split into city-states, which were like tiny countries. Bigger countries fought over these city-states in the hundreds of years that followed. In the late 1700s, France defeated many city-states and brought them together. The French passed along new ideas about being loyal to your country. And France is close to Italy. So we said this is Italy, this boot right here, and France is just northwest, the country that sits right here on the edge of the Atlantic Ocean, just northwest of Italy. When the French left in 1814, their ideas stayed. The Italians wanted to unite their country, and in 1861, the country of Italy was born. By 1871, all the regions we know today had become part of Italy. Just to give you some perspective, in 1871, that was just a few years after our Civil War had happened. So in 1871 in Italy, all the regions came together. That's what we have learned so far. After the lesson, I put away my history book and walked to music class. Music is very important in Italy. Italy is the birthplace of opera, the violin, and the piano. Even musical notation, the way we write music, came from Italy. Olivia and Sophia are my best friends at school. We all play violin in music class. When I grow up, I want to be the best violin player in Italy. Are you still thinking about how your life would be the same if you lived in Italy? This girl, Pia, she has friends. She goes to school. Her dad drives her to school. She's got music class and history class. I bet you can connect to a lot of Pia's life. After music comes science class. Today we are learning about how plants grow. Many famous scientists and inventors came from Italy. Italians are credited with inventing the radio, batteries, and even eyeglasses. On Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, school lasts until 4:30. I take classes like math, reading, art, English, and computers. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, school ends at lunchtime. Since today is Tuesday, I get to go home now. At home, my grandma cooks lunch. Sometimes we'll eat a sandwich or cooked fish with vegetables. Today we're eating a crunchy salad with chicken. On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I take violin lessons with our neighbor. I practice every day so I can get better. When my brother gets home from soccer practice at his sports club, he helps me with my homework. When we're done, we play a quick game of soccer. It's time for dinner. In Italy, it's very important to eat one meal each day with your family. Often we eat pasta and meat that's cooked in a creamy sauce. As we eat, we take turns talking about our day. After dinner, I get ready for bed. In my bedroom wall, I have a big map. I put a push pin in each country I want to visit. Would you like to visit Italy someday? There are so many places in the world to see. Look, she has a push pin in the United States. So she'd like to come visit us. And then it gives you some little facts about Italy. Things that we've just learned. The capital is Rome. They speak Italian. There's 61 million people. So I really enjoyed getting a taste of what Italy is all about and getting to hear a little bit of its history, getting to know what it's famous for, what neat inventions came out of Italy. And it's also interesting to learn that if I lived in Italy, my life would be a lot the same. We might eat different foods, go different places for vacation, but if I lived in the country of Italy, my life wouldn't be too different. I would speak a different language too, wouldn't I? Boys and girls, I hope that you enjoyed this story and I hope you liked learning about the country of Italy. And don't forget to look at themasterpiecestudio.com where you can learn about Europe in a hands-on way. Give it a try.